Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kane's guests are shocked after a confession and 2 deaths, and Nick surprises Sharon. Lauren tries to persuade Nikki that Nick would not want her to sign over Chancellor for his release. Nikki snaps that it is neither his nor Victor's decision, and she informs Amanda that she is ready to sign. Lauren declares that she is under duress. Amanda asks Nikki if this is true, as she appears to be ready to sign. Lauren demands to speak with her pal alone. Nikki demands a moment with Lauren, so Amanda moves back. Lauren notes that this is unacceptable coercion, and Amanda appears concerned that the guilty party will emerge before the paperwork can be signed. Nikki complains that waiting will not save her son, but signing the documents will. Victor may be upset, but Nick will be released. She calls Amanda back and demands that she see Nick before signing anything. Amanda acknowledges that they will give up their leverage. Nikki refuses to budge, so the lawyer caves and they walk away to the chateau. What does Nikki see? When Amanda guides Lauren and Nikki to the chateau's storage room, they are shocked to find the door open and blood on the floor. Amanda has no idea where the captives are, but she swears they are safe. Nikki rants, "You wanted me to sign away Chancellor to protect my son, and you have no idea where he is." Given Nick's proclivity for violence, Amanda's suggestion that the blood could belong to the guard does not improve the situation. "Give me a break." Nikki fumes. She reminds Amanda that Chancellor is hers to do with as she sees fit, but cautions that if her son is wounded or simply thirsty, there will be hell to pay. She walks away. Nikki, Lauren, Amanda, Y and R. Will Carter confess? Victor and Chance stand behind a hedge, eavesdropping as Kane tries to encourage Carter to tell him what occurred, claiming that he cannot protect him otherwise. Kane urges his assistant not to be afraid and assures him that they will deal with this together. He wonders if Carter killed Damien to make space for him to reconcile with Lily. The security guard appears and reports that Nick and his partner have fled. Kane keeps pressuring Carter to come clean and tell him everything. Didn't he always protect him? Chance, Victor, Y and R. Carter explains that Damien has to be eliminated from the equation. The reunion between Kane and Lily was going to be epic, but he was in the way. After everything Kane had done for him, he wanted to reciprocate. He was simply trying to anticipate his requirements. "Never do this," Kane exclaims. Carter urges him to divert attention so that he can escape. He'll disappear and take on a new identity. Kane advises him to halt and let Amanda try to fix the situation. Carter guards Kane, Y and R. As Carter says that he requires more time, Chance approaches to say that it appears that the wrong individual was placed under house arrest. Carter feels betrayed because Kane set him up to be overheard. His employer concedes that it is impossible to safeguard him. They listen as Carter emphasizes that he was merely removing an impediment, as Kane had taught him to do. He explains that he tried to set Kane up as indisposed, but he ruined it by allowing Damien to drink from his bourbon. That ended up working in his advantage by weakening Damien. After killing him, he took the evidence. Kane claims he never wanted this, it should never have happened. More stars and their pets. Lily arrives and inquires as to the situation. Carter grabs her and yells at his employer that this was all for him as he draws his revolver. It was all for nothing, and he is desperate to get out of there. He was committed and dedicated to doing anything for Mr. Dumas. Kane realizes he believed he was doing the right thing. Chance tells him to let her go and put down the weapon. They've reached the end of the road and are now stuck. Chance, Kane, Y and R. Carter accuses Kane of lying to everyone. The cop proposes that Carter accept Kane's offer, and hope that Amanda will represent him. Carter is enraged, claiming that Kane has everything he desires. He is determined to look out for himself and drags Lily through the maze. Carter, Lily, Kane, Chance, Y and R. Victor discovers that Nick was wounded. Nick groans as Sally, Sharon and Billy pull him inside the train car. After lowering him, they ponder how they will get him down the mountain for assistance. Billy leaves and Sally offers to hike down the mountain. Nick is concerned about her safety, but she jogs away anyhow. Sharon wonders what she should get Nick to ease his anguish. Groaning, he invites her to remain with him. Billy, Nick, Sharon, Sally, Y and R. Sharon tries to convince Nick to drink water, and he comments about how soft his parents are. Victor walks in and demands to know who has done this to him. Nick says he sort of did it to himself. He's suffered worse injuries. Sharon tells that he needs stitches and medicines. Victor begins cursing Ashby and says he will deal with him. Nick asks his father not to do anything stupid. All he wants is to go home. More. The most perplexing plot detail of the murder mystery. Sharon says Nick was amazing in captivity and kept her calm. They worked together to get out of there. But when they ran into the guard, chaos ensued. Victor worries about all the thugs and killers on Kane's payroll, stating that Ashby will pay for it.
Billy warns Amanda that she can't save Kane. Billy, still bloodied from helping save Nick, rushes upon Lauren and Nikki, who are whining about being stuck in a hellscape. He tells that Nick has been harmed but will be okay. They proceed to the train car. Amanda approaches Billy, and he informs her that even she cannot get Kane out of this situation. She argues that this is not what her employer desired. Billy still wants to work with Kane, but he thinks there will be anything left after the Newmans are done with him. He tells her that Nick has been cut open and is most likely infected. This is all on Kane, and the noose around his neck is tightening. Kyle believes he won, but has already lost. Amanda enters the surveillance room and switches off the signal jamming device. She then calls the police, requesting immediate aid. Will Carter escape? As Billy walks through the maze, he comes into Lily, who is being held at gunpoint by Carter. He tells Carter there is nowhere to go and refuses to let him take her. Carter can't see how he can stop him. He's the one with the pistol, and he knows the area better than anyone. Chance and Kane catch up with them. As Chance loops about, Kane offers to take Lily's place. Carter refuses. Kane instructs Billy to back down and tells Carter to keep the gun pointed at him while letting Lily go. Carter Lily Kane Y&R. After Carter lets Lily go, she runs into Billy's arms. Chance looks around a hedge as Carter reminds his boss that he gave this location everything he could want, but it was all for nothing. He seems unconcerned about everything he does. Carter believes that Kane has nothing left to live for because he cannot have Lily or Chancellor. Lily screams Kane's name as he proclaims that he will rescue him from his life. Chance rushes Carter. They fight over the gun, and it fires. Chance, shocked, rushes into Kane's arms as Carter flees. Billy Lily Chance Kane Y&R. Lily promises Chance he'll be fine, but he insists it's too late. He dies, and Billy verifies his passing as Lily cries, "No." Chance dead Kane Y&R. Billy, Lily, and Kane were startled when they heard another gunshot. Lily Billy Y&R. They rush to the dining room, where Carter is lying on the ground, killed by a bullet. Diane and Jack run over, claiming they heard gunshots. Kane adds that Carter admitted to killing Damien and planned to kill him, but Chance was shot. Kane asks Lily whether she's all right. She wants to go home. He can make it happen. Amanda hurries over, claiming she just spotted Chance's body. Kane says he'll fill her in later and recommends she contact the police. He's not surprised to learn she already has. More, Connor Floyd leaves as Chance. What happens to Nick and Sharon? Sally returns to the club car and reports that the tracks have been cleared for 2 days. Victor is upset, and Sharon assures Nick that he will be fine. He never doubted it. She keeps checking for fevers. He assures her that it is not the flu and she does not need to be concerned. Victor welcomes Nikki in, and she fusses over her son. Nick repeats that he is fine. Their phones began pinging, indicating that service has been restored. Victor quickly telephones Adam and instructs him to deploy a chopper. Victor assumes Kane realizes he has lost and they can leave. More, Y&R's weekly preview video. Lauren comes as they hear a helicopter overhead. She and Nikki go outdoors and wave it down. Nick thanks Sally, who asks Sharon to make sure he doesn't do anything wild before leaving. Nick laughs that there has been a lot of fuss about a minor scratch. Sharon claims he is always available for her when she needs him. He claims they're always there for each other. Nick asks her to come closer, and they kiss. Nick Sharon kissed Y&R. The final scenes. Jack begins to complain that everything is Kane's fault. Ashby insisted that this was supposed to be a vacation. Jack complains about how it has cost 3 lives. This will devastate Nina and Jill. Kane didn't want any of this, but it happened, and he'll have to deal with it. Lily hunches over a table and apologizes for accusing him of Damien's murder. She confesses that murder is out of character for him. He claims he is still the man she loved. She tells him that such discussion is what has led to this situation. All of the people he brought along to be his friends are now his enemies. He is lost. Kane Jack YNR. After Lily walks away, Billy advises that Kane contemplate returning to Genoa City. Ashby is still adamant on this front. It's not a forgive and forget crew, Billy explains. Kane promises to discuss his investment in Abbott Communications when he is in town. Jack and Diane walk away, shocked that Billy is still pursuing a business aspect. Billy Kane Y&R. When Kane is left alone, Amanda approaches him. He explains that he fled Genoa City after failing, but he has now failed again. She blames the murders on Carter. Bringing everyone there was only to distract them from his goal. Kane states that he will not give up on getting Lily back after seeing her again. More, Eric Braden submits to temptation. Phyllis arrives and takes in the scene. Billy believes she heard that Kane's plans did not work out. She wonders if Abby knows. He shakes his head and says, "What? Did Chance die while attempting to defend Kane?" "No, not yet," Phyllis says. "Oh God, he was a good man. He was a decent man." She is certain that this has soured Billy's enthusiasm to collaborate with their host. Billy says, "Absolutely not. I want Chancellor more than ever." Out of respect for Chance's memory, he tells Phyllis, "I could use your help with that." The tension at the chateau reaches a breaking point as Kane's guests, already exhausted by the maze of betrayals and bloodshed, reel in shock after a confession and 2 brutal deaths, while Nick Newman, battered but alive, shares a tender, unexpected moment with Sharon that could change everything between them. Deep within the maze, Lauren Baldwin pleads with Nikki Newman to hold firm, insisting Nick would never want her to sign over Chancellor Industries just to buy his freedom, but Nikki, her nerves shredded and her resolve hard as steel, snaps that this isn't Nick's decision or even Victor's, that her priority is saving her son no matter the cost, and she's ready to sign the papers despite Lauren's cries that she's acting under outrageous duress. Amanda Sinclair, cool but clearly rattled, presses Nikki to admit whether she's truly being coerced, while Lauren demands a private moment, accusing Amanda of orchestrating coercion in a desperate bid to finalize the deal before the true villain emerges to ruin everything, and though Nikki protests that waiting could cost Nick his life, she draws a line, refusing to sign until she sees him safe, forcing Amanda to relent as they all march to the chateau's shadowy storage room, where the sight of a blood-smeared floor and an ominously ajar door sends fresh waves of dread through the group. Amanda, fumbling for control, insists the captives are safe, but Nikki's fury boils over as she hisses that she was nearly strong-armed into surrendering her company without Amanda even knowing her son's whereabouts, and Amanda, attempting to defuse the storm, speculates that the blood is likely from a fallen guard because Nick, after all, is more than capable of violence, a remark that only provokes Nikki's seething warning that if her son is harmed, dehydrated, or even outside near a hedge. Victor Newman and Chancellor lurk as silent witnesses while Kane Ashby, dripping with desperation, tries to coax the truth from his loyal but unraveling assistant Carter, urging him to confess now so Kane can protect him, only to learn that Carter, his voice trembling but resolute, orchestrated Damien's murder to clear the way for Kane's grand reunion with Lily Winters, believing he was anticipating Kane's unspoken desires after years of low. Carter erupts, accusing his mentor of hypocrisy, and while Kane admits there's no salvaging him, Carter doubles down, ranting that he only did what Kane trained him to do, remove obstacles, weaken Damien by poisoning his bourbon, and seize evidence to protect Kane, all while believing he was fulfilling his duty, not dooming them both. But Kane, exasperated, protests that none of this carnage was ever part of his plan. Their standoff is shattered when Lily arrives, confused and demanding answers, prompting Carter, wild-eyed, to seize her at gunpoint as he rages that his loyalty has been for naught, that all his sacrifices mean nothing to Kane, and he's determined to carve out his escape even if it means dragging Lily into the depths of the maze, while Chance, ever the steady negotiator, urges calm, warning Carter that this is the end of the line and his only hope is surrender. Meanwhile, in the club car of the train, Sally Spectra and Sharon Rosales help Billy Abbott haul a wounded, groaning Nick to safety, laying him down as they debate how to get him off the mountain for medical attention, with Billy sprinting off for help and Sally volunteering to hike down despite Nick's concern for her ass. Affity, Sharon, tender yet composed, stays behind, coaxing Nick to sip water as he cracks jokes about his overprotective parents, their quiet intimacy. Nick, exhausted, begs his father not to escalate, wishing only to return home, while Sharon, softening, praises his bravery during their captivity, recalling how he kept her calm as they escaped and fought their way past guards, even as Victor mutters darkly about Kane's thugs and killers, promising a reckoning. Billy, still bloodied from his efforts, crosses paths with Lauren and Nikki, updating them that Nick will survive despite his ordeal, before warning Amanda Sinclair that even her considerable legal skill can't save Kane now, not with Nick sliced open, chaos erupting, and the Newman wrath looming. Amanda insists Kane never wanted this, but Billy, ever pragmatic, doubts there will be anything left to salvage once the dust settles, then trudges into the maze where Billy stumbles upon Lily, who is still being held hostage by Carter, and tries to reason with the armed man, urging him to release her because escape is impossible, but Carter, clutching the gun like a lifeline, snarls that Billy can't stop him because he knows the labyrinth better than anyone, until Chance and Kane arrive, strategically circling. Kane, voice low and pleading, offers himself as a substitute hostage, coaxing Carter to keep the gun trained on him while letting Lily flee, and, after a tense pause, Carter reluctantly complies, releasing Lily into Billy's waiting arms just as Chance creeps closer. Carter, his psyche fracturing, laments that despite building Kane's perfect empire, none of it mattered. Kane doesn't want him, and with Lily and Chancellor both lost, he declares Kane has nothing left to live. Her cry cut through the darkness, just as another gunshot rang out in the distance. The trio rushes to the dining hall, where they find Carter sprawled lifeless, a bullet wound in his chest. As Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins rush in, stunned, Kane, still reeling, explains that Carter confessed to Damien's murder, attempted to kill him, and ultimately met his end as Chaos claimed yet another life, while Amanda, arriving breathless, reports seeing Chance's body and, at Kane's urging, agrees to coordinate with the police, whom she has already summoned. Back at the club car, Sally returns, breathless but triumphant, announcing that the tracks have been clear for 2 days, infuriating Victor because he realizes they've been stranded unnecessarily. Sharon consoles Nick, reminding him he'll be fine as she fusses over him, and Victor, ever the patriarch, immediately calls Adam, ordering a helicopter. As the chopper nears, Lauren and Nikki wave it down outside, and Sally bids farewell, asking Sharon to keep Nick from doing anything reckless, prompting Nick, ever the charmer, to quip about all this fuss over a little scratch, while Sharon, her eyes soft, reminds him he's always been there for her and she for him, their bond deepening as Nick, voice low, asks her to come closer, sealing their ordeal with a lingering kiss that suggests old sparks may reignite. In the aftermath, as Jack fumes that Kane's so-called vacation has cost 3 lives and will shatter Nina and Jill, Kane, hunched over and hollow, insists he never wanted this but can't escape the weight of what's happened. Lily, her anger tempered by grief, apologizes for ever accusing him of Damien's murder, admitting such violence is out of character, but warns that his romantic overtures are what sparked this catastrophe, noting that the guests he courted as allies after she leaves. Billy, ever calculating, advises Kane to reconsider returning to Genoa City, warning that the crowd he's facing isn't prone to forgive and forget, but Kane, undeterred, vows to return and pivot to business, even proposing a discussion about investing in Abbott Communications, much to Jack and Diane's chagrin as they flee. When left alone with Amanda, Kane admits that he fled Genoa City after failing, only to fail again, but vows that he would not cease his pursuit of Lily now that he has seen her again, a commitment Amanda accepts with a mix of disbelief and resignation. As Phyllis Summers arrives, surveying the aftermath with a grimace, Billy somberly informs her that Chance died protecting Kane, eliciting a raw lament from Phyllis about Chance being a good man, before Billy, voice low but sharp, pivots to strategy, declaring his renewed determination to seize Chancellor out of respect for Chance's memory, and inviting Phyllis to help him achieve it, setting the stage for a stormy return to Genoa City where grief, vengeance,